Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It's Connor. We're back here discussing Leeds United versus Sunderland on Monday, 8 p.m, baby. I am buzzing for this one. I'm buzzing. These are the games that you live for in the Championship, people. It's all about energy. It's all about winning that ball back high, and it's about punishing the Black Cats. But I'm going to try and emulate some of that energy on the One Leeds fan channel this morning. What's going on in your world, everybody? Let me know in the comment section below. How are you feeling? How are you feeling for this one? We've done a little video on the second channel, a little bit more of a maybe slight dive into what to expect from Sunderland. So if that interests you whatsoever, if that interests you whatsoever, that doesn't make any sense. If that interests you, go and check that out. Link in the description below. And yeah, make sure you do that. But yeah, I'm buzzing. It has to be said because I think this game is up for grabs. I really do. One part of me says Leeds are going to win it. Another part of me says it's obviously a draw. Another part of me says Sunderland could definitely come and do a little job on us. As I say, on the second channel, everybody, we've really broke it down in terms of where I think the battles are. We've gone for a little walk and we've spoken about it. You guys know I love the little walking shows. But yeah, we're going to be doing a watch along tomorrow night. We're going to be doing instant match reaction, and the old boy is going to be on it. The brother is going to be on it. It's going to be proper Generation Leeds in person, everybody. So make sure you tune in for that one, of course. Yeah, so massive game for Leeds, obviously, but is it a bigger game for Sunderland? Is it a bigger game for Sunderland? Can they afford to lose this? Leeds go 10 points clear, Sheffield United and then 8 points clear. I believe Sheffield have a better goal difference as well. Leeds obviously definitely do, acts as an extra point. But for this video in particular, I want to be talking about lineup selection for Leeds United. We're not talking about Sunderland today in terms of what they're going to be doing in as much detail. As I say, that's on the second channel. But as always, everybody, sponsored by IPM Group UK. Make sure you check out all your CCTV security and all that good stuff. And keep it in the Leeds United community with Rick and the gang. IPM Group UK. First link in the description. So I would drop him. It's probably going to be the title for this video. Or drop him. Sounds a bit harsh, but I think it needs to happen. Gruev needs to be dropped for this game for me. And do you change a winning side? Do you change a team of which has built up just this level of ridiculous quality at this moment in time? Efficiency, assurance, productivity, strength, balance. There's so many good things that you can attribute to this Leeds United side. For me, we have a tad problem at the back, and that's a beautiful thing right now in terms of the options available. Strauch has to go in that back too. I think against Sunderland last time at Stadium of Light, he was outstanding. He was absolutely outstanding. I think when you've got the problem of Isidore, who is a monster and has got 11 goals, and for me is one of the strikers at this level who I think is a Premier League adaptable striker, which I don't think there's many at this level whatsoever. I think Isidore is that. I think his athleticism, stature, framework, but ability on the ball as well, and pace. I think that's a little bit of an attribute that's underrated when it comes to Strauch. I think he does have, obviously his long stride pattern, but his pace over a short period, I think, is very decent. He's going to have to match Isidore. Isidore will be trying to split that back too, and he'll be trying to rough him up a little bit. I think you've simply got to have a physical presence in there alongside Joe Rodon. I think an intelligent striker. I could not believe Ellis Sims didn't do this when we played up against Coventry. Why is he not leaning on the little man? Why are you not leaning on the little man? Ellis Sims leaned on Rodon. It's ridiculous. And I think that Isidore is probably under Regis Labrie going to get a little bit of a nudge and say lean on Ethan Ampadu if he's back there, because simply a 5'10", 11 man battling up against a monster like him, it's going to be a little bit tricky, and Sunderland will get the ball into him. They will get the ball into him because of how good they are in midfield as well. This is going to be a transitional game. It's going to be counter-attack versus counter-attack. We know our Leeds build up. Sunderland like to build up out wide. That's what they like to do, and they're going to prioritise these 1v1 battles. That is what he absolutely loves to do. Regis Labrie loves these box-to-box midfielders when it comes to Chris Rigg and Joe Bellingham. We saw that in the first game. Chris Rigg getting the goal, and he was constantly in the box. They flood the box. They love overloads. They are a very, very similar team to Leeds United in terms of how they build up and what they try to do to get the best out of their individuals. There's an argument Sunderland have the best midfield in the division. There's a strong argument as well that Leeds have the best midfield in the division. It has so many parts of it, of which is interesting. Joe Bellingham, Chris Rigg, does Enzo Lafie come central now? Remain Mundle's back. Mundle is now an interesting battle again for Bogle, which I thought Bogle won at the Stadium of Light. I also thought on the other side, Firpo got the best of Patrick Roberts, so keep an eye on that one. Will Regis Lebris try fluctuate a little bit and try maybe Enzo Lafay out there against Bogle, because Bogle won't have come up against anyone like him. Not a natural left winger, but in terms of quality, technical ability, that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. But the midfield's huge, and this is why this individual in Gruev needs to be dropped. I think Gruev was exceptional. I actually think Gruev has been so much better post-injury. I think the balance of him and Tanaka there basically means that Tanaka is the defensive option now, which is so weird. Tanaka is the man who splits the centre-backs. I think Tanaka at this moment in time is at a different level to what he's even been at Leeds United throughout the season. I just think, especially against Watford and Coventry, he's just been outrageously good. But Gruev's been very good as well. Very, very good, and has impressed me a lot. And there seems to be a bit of a development in his game in terms of how he actually has this license a little bit more now. It's not about these long arcing balls or anything like that, but he looks like he's playing with a little bit of freedom, which is really nice to see. But I think against their midfield, you need a physical presence. Gruev isn't that. Gruev's a ball winner. He's perceptive, very good at interpreting where the ball's going to drop in the midfield. For me, he's nowhere near, I could bounce him off the ball quite easily, and I'm 6 foot Yorkshire steel. Do you know what I mean? It's a joke. But yeah, no, I think so coming up against a 6'2" lad in Bellingham, you're coming up against Chris Rigg in there as well, who is a bit of a box-to-box midfielder. Dan Neil in there is a presence as well, very good on the ball, but a physical player as well. I'm not saying Gruev couldn't match it with them, but I think Bellingham being in there in particular, Tanaka's going to need a little bit of help. Aronson's going to have to bez around that central midfield space as well, but I think Gruev needs to be dropped for this one. I think you have to get Ampadu into that midfield. So for me, Strout comes in, Gruev goes out. Strout goes into the back two, elevates our build-up again, and then obviously you've got a little bit more of a set-piece threat as well, of which Sunderland, from what I believe, aren't the greatest at. And yeah, alleviate these mistakes, and you've got to look at it and think that Leeds are in a room with a real chance. You look at what happened at the Stadium of Light. They'd lost 2 in the last 5. They'd lost to Plymouth and Watford. This time around in the last 5, they've not lost in 5, and they've drawn to Plymouth and Watford, so they've kind of turned around those results a little bit. Leeds United are just flying, absolutely flying. 7 goals without conceding, the best goal difference in Europe. We're scoring 2 goals per game on average right now. And I think Sunderland and Leeds right now is probably the best game that this league can showcase because of the matchups across the pitch, how good they are technically. Sirkin, Hume, the fullbacks are exceptional at this level. For me, they're Premier League fullbacks. I think we've arguably got Premier League fullbacks as well, obviously. But I also look at the midfield battle. I think it's won and lost in that midfield. I think in that second half at the Stadium of Light, they lost the midfield battle because Tanaka started to take control. He's going to be their main focus. I wonder if Bellingham's just going to follow him around a little bit. But Leeds have got to be really careful. This is not going to be an easy game on Monday night. But for me, Gruev dropped, Strauch in. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We're back tonight with Gabe talking about the whole general picture of this playoff race at the minute. Gabe disagrees with me that Leeds he disagrees with my overconfidence right now. So I'm sure we'll be getting into that a little bit later on. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Live at 8 tonight and then live tomorrow, as you know, for the watch along, instant match reaction, all that good stuff. Guys, it's been a pleasure. See you in a bit.